Since the NFL Combine began electric timing the 40-yard dash in 1999, only 22 players have run a time in the 4.2s. But as we've learned over the years, otherworldly speed doesn't automatically make you a great football player. And all the fastest players in the game's history took very different paths since wowing scouts at their respective combines. So where are they now? These are the fastest 40 times ever, how their careers played out, and where they're at today. Starting with Fabian Washington, whose 40 times significantly raised his draft stock even after a great college career, because he played 3 years at Nebraska as a cornerback and put up all-time program numbers. He was an all-Big 12 selection in every collegiate season he played, is 4th in Nebraska history in pass breakups and 5th in interceptions. So, entering the 2005 Combine, he already had the resume. But after running a 4.29 40, it catapulted him to the first round as the 23rd pick by the Oakland Raiders. However, Washington's NFL career did not look like his time in college, because he played 6 pro seasons with the Raiders, Ravens, and Saints, and the end of his career was rough. He struggled with a left knee injury in 2009, got benched in 2010, and after signing a 1-year deal with New Orleans, had a hamstring injury that ultimately led to the end of his NFL career. Today, Washington lives a quiet life with his wife and 2 children. But for some, their NFL careers ended almost as quickly as their 40 times, just as Zedrick Woods. He played 4 years at Ole Miss as a safety, totaling 231 tackles and 6 interceptions, and ran the fastest 40 in the 2019 NFL Combine.
Zedrick Woods, 4.3 flat,
with a time of 4.29. Despite his speed and being a 5'11", 205-pound prospect who could bench 370 pounds, he went undrafted. The Jacksonville Jaguars signed him as an undrafted free agent, but it didn't last long. After attending every team workout and minicamp, Woods submitted his papers for retirement. The reason for this abrupt end to his career? Woods' agent said he definitely has a foot injury. So, just like that, Zedrick Woods' NFL career was over. Now he lives a humble life in Florida with his family. But other players, like Javelin Guidry, managed to transition their track skills to gridiron success. In 2017, when he was in high school, he ran the fastest 100-meter dash time in California State history at 10:13. So, as you'd expect, he played football and ran track in college. Guidry played 3 seasons at the University of Utah as a defensive back, racking up 121 total tackles and 3 interceptions. But it was his speed on the track that really turned heads, because in 2019, he broke records. At Utah, he ran the 11th fastest 60-meter dash time in the country and competed in the US ATF Indoor Championships. Then, at the 2020 Draft Combine, Guidry's 40 time hit 4.29. That was enough to draw league interest. He went undrafted, but signed with the New York Jets and made his NFL debut during Week 4 against Denver. However, after 2 seasons in New York, he was waived. Since then, it's been extremely up and down for Guidry, signing with 5 other teams, mostly as a practice squad member. He's still looking to continue his NFL career, and his speed should keep teams interested. But for Champ Bailey, his future in the NFL was never in question. He was an all-time great with all-time speed. From 1996 to 98, Bailey played at Georgia and was one of the greatest multi-sport athletes we've ever seen in college, because he also ran track with a 60-meter dash time of 6.85. Then, in 1999, the year electronic timing was introduced to the NFL Combine, Bailey ran a 4.28 40-yard dash. So, in the 1999 draft, Washington took him in the first round with the 7th pick. And in 15 NFL seasons, Bailey was a 12-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time first-team All-Pro, and the 2006 league interceptions leader. In 2014, he officially retired, but is still a prominent figure around the league. You can find the 2019 Hall of Fame inductee on TNT as a studio analyst, giving online DB tips, and advocating for Denver Broncos football. Jacoby Ford was also a multi-sport star who had memorable plays in the league. He's widely considered one of the fastest players to ever play and has the numbers to prove it. In high school, he played football and track, running a ridiculous 40 time of 4.126. Then, from 2006 to 2009, he attended Clemson, and along with playing well enough on the football field to draw draft interest, he also neared all-time track records. In 2009, he ran the NCAA championships, and his 60-meter time of 6.51 was 1/100th of a second shy of the meet record. Ford became an NCAA track All-American, transferring that speed to the gridiron. And despite his combine time being slower than high school, hitting a 4.28, NFL teams still wanted him. So, in the 2010 draft, the Raiders took Ford in the 4th round with pick 108. Despite some great performances, including this 94-yard kickoff return against the Chiefs,
finding room, and there he goes! Oh, the Raiders have started the second half!
his Oakland career ended in 2014. That's when Ford started looking for options outside the NFL. He was briefly on the Jets and Titans before heading north to the Canadian Football League. From 2016 to 2018, Ford played with the Edmonton Eskimos, the Montreal Alouettes, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. However, Ford is still remembered for his time as a Raider, and he continues to do public appearances for them while keeping up his speed on the track. And speaking of speed, the NFL postseason is fast approaching, which is why this episode of Blitz is brought to you by DraftKings. It's finally time for the NFL playoffs.
Playoffs? You kidding me?
Which also means it's time for you to get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NFL. Everyone loves touchdowns, and teams gotta score them to win in the postseason, but you can also score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Feel like you're ready to make your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player you think is going to score 6 on Wild Card Weekend. Saquon Barkley is currently -135 to score a touchdown in the Eagles' opening matchup with the Packers. Justin Jefferson is -105 to score 6 in the Vikings matchup with the Rams. Or maybe you think Josh Allen can build on his MVP-level regular season and find the end zone against the Broncos, which is -125. These lines and odds are subject to change, but they're just a few of the cool bets DraftKings has to offer.
But wait, there's more!
And that's not all, because new DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Damn!
So don't miss out on this awesome opportunity to make your NFL playoff experience even more fun. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THEBLITZ. That's code THEBLITZ for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And always remember to gamble responsibly. And much like Ford, DeMarcus Van Dyke also put up record numbers on the track. From 2007 to 2010, he attended Miami, playing football and running track. His career high in the 100-meter dash, 10.61 seconds. This led to his 2011 NFL Combine performance of 4.28. So the Raiders took Van Dyke in the 3rd round with the 81st pick. However, in 6 NFL seasons, he only saw playing time in 3 of them, with his best season being his rookie year. Van Dyke played for the Raiders, Steelers, Chiefs, Vikings, and closed his career with the Falcons in 2016. But he has become a successful coach. Since 2017, he's coached 4 different teams, starting with the small private college ASA Miami as the cornerbacks coach. Then, in 2018, he returned to his alma mater, the University of Miami, and was even their assistant director of recruiting. Van Dyke moved on to FIU in 2023, and in 2024 became the cornerbacks coach for South Florida. But J.J. Nelson is a unique member of this list because he played 3 sports. He grew up in Midfield, Alabama, participating in football, track, and basketball. Then stayed close to home, attending the University of Alabama at Birmingham. In his final UAB season, he was the Conference USA Special Teams Player of the Year and a first-team All-Conference receiver. And, as you might expect, he took home the fastest time of the 2015 NFL Combine with 4.28. So, Arizona took Nelson in the 5th round with the 159th pick. And he had a decent career with the Cardinals, including winning NFL Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2 of 2017. However, after 4 seasons in Arizona, it was hard for Nelson to find a consistent team, going to the Raiders, Niners, Bills, and finally, Colts in 2021. His last game was in 2019 with the Raiders.
And it's J.J. Nelson, and Nelson is in for the score.
And he's now the wide receivers coach at Rice University. And, like Nelson, Jaylen Myrick has turned his speed into a successful coaching career. In high school, he was able to run 22 miles per hour. Then, from 2013 to 2016, he played cornerback at the University of Minnesota, totaling 93 tackles and 5 interceptions. He turned heads at the 2017 Combine, running the fastest defensive back 40 time at 4.28. So, the Jaguars took Myrick in the 7th round with a 222nd pick. But he had an extremely brief NFL career, because after just 1 season with Jacksonville, Myrick was waived. He went to the Vikings, then to the Falcons, but that didn't work out. So he tried another football league. In 2020, Myrick was taken in the 3rd round of the XFL draft by the DC Defenders, but was again waived later that year. Now, he's become a solid collegiate coach. In 2022, he became the wide receivers coach for Winona State University, was their DBs coach in 2023, and is now coaching back at Minnesota. As for Tyquan Thornton, he had one of the weirdest NFL Combine moments ever. Before this, he was a receiver for Baylor from 2018 to 2021, ending his career with a 2nd-team All-Big 12 selection. Then he went to the 2022 Draft Combine. where Thornton was part of an insanely fast class. And this run was unofficially marked with a 40 time of 4.21, which would have been the fastest ever, but it was later ruled a 4.28. This, combined with his strong college finish, had the Patriots take him in the second round with pick 50. But Thornton's NFL career has been a struggle. After dealing with multiple injuries, including a fractured clavicle that delayed his NFL debut, he was waived by New England in 2024. So, as of November 2024, Thornton is a member of the Chiefs' practice squad. Nate Wiggins, however, is already off to a better start in the NFL than Thornton. While attending Clemson in 2023, he became a first-team All-ACC cornerback, and he has the longest pick six in ACC championship history, with this 98-yard house call. This showed the speed that would lead to his 2024 draft combine 40 time of 4.28. And during the 2024 draft, Wiggins was taken by the Ravens in the first round as the 30th pick.
The Baltimore Ravens select Nate Wiggins, defensive back, Clemson.
He made his presence known in Week 3 against Dallas with this forced fumble on CeeDee Lamb, and though he's had some growing pains as a rookie corner, like most do, he looks to continue a long NFL career. However, we hit a new gear of speed with Stanford Routt. He attended Houston from 2001 to 2004, and you could argue, despite his strong career at DB, Routt was an even bigger track star with the Cougars. He was the two-time winner of the 200-meter at the NCAA Midwest Regional Championships and the 2004 Conference USA Indoor Track Athlete of the Year. But even with this track success, he wanted to play football. During the 2005 Combine, he ran the then fastest 40 time of 4.27 seconds, and as you may have noticed, the Raiders are suckers for speed, so they took him in the second round with the 38th overall pick. In 7 seasons in Oakland, Rout's best season was in 2010, with 55 total tackles. He ended his career in 2012, after jumping from Kansas City to Houston. Now, in retirement, he's done quite well for himself. He's a host of the All Facts No Cap podcast and has a solid coaching career. From 2017 to 2021, he coached at Houston's St. Thomas High School. From 2022 to 23, he was the assistant DB's coach at Houston, and since 2024, he's been the corners coach for Valparaiso University. But even Routt doesn't have as many track titles as Marquise Goodwin, because Goodwin won 7 Texas Class 5A track championships in high school, including the second fastest 100-meter time in the entire state. From 2009 to 2012, he went to Texas, amassing 1,364 receiving yards, 7 TDs, was a 4-time track and field All-American, and in 2012 participated in the London Olympics. Then, after impressing with a 40 time of 4.27 at the 2013 Combine, he made himself a surefire draft pick. The Bills took Goodwin in the third round with the 78th overall pick.
Goodwin, touchdown!
He played for over a decade in the NFL, which is an accomplishment in itself, but injuries really took a toll on his once promising career.
19 in this half. Oh my goodness! Goodwin just got unloaded upon by Blake Countess,
amassing over 16 different injuries in his time in the league. So, despite being a productive receiver for many teams, Goodwin remains a free agent this season. And unfortunately, some stories end just as quickly as they started. This would be the case for Henry Ruggs. He played for Alabama as a receiver and kick returner. His 24 receiving TDs is 4th in Crimson Tide history, and going into the 2020 draft, he went for even more records, because at the 2020 Combine, Ruggs ran the fastest 40 time of the year at 4.27, lifting him to the 12th overall pick in the first round by the Raiders.
We are so fired up to have you. You got no idea. Congratulations, man.
We're going to Vegas! Oh my God!
And after finishing his rookie year with 452 yards and 2 touchdowns, 2021 was meant to be his breakout season, because in half the games he put up identical numbers. But on November 2nd, 2021, he was involved in a fatal drunk driving incident in Las Vegas that promptly ended his career. In November 2024, he was transferred to a Vegas transitional housing facility after getting sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison in 2023. But out of everyone on this list, Jerome Mathis arguably had the fastest start to his career. He was a 6-time track state champ in high school, attended Hampton University, setting the NCAA record for career kick return average with 26.6 yards, and is a 2-time track All-American. Then, in 2005, he hit the then 4th fastest 40 time in the NFL Combine ever with a 4.26. So, the Texans took him in the 4th round with the 114th pick. And in his rookie season, Mathis made the Pro Bowl as a kick returner. But a foot injury from that Pro Bowl led to the downfall fall of his career. After 3 seasons in Houston, Mathis signed with Washington, was waived, and had separate stints in the Canadian Football League and the Arena Football League. He played his last game in 2011 and is now volunteering as a football coach in his hometown of Petersburg, Virginia. And now we reach the first running back on the list. In high school, Dri Archer played basketball, football, and track. He was so good at track that he was offered scholarships to Clemson and Arkansas, but instead went to Kent State to play football. After 4 seasons there, he went to the 2014 NFL Combine and ran a 4.26 40. This led to the Steelers taking him in the 3rd round with the 97th pick. But his NFL career was just as fast. He played just 2 seasons in Pittsburgh and briefly signed with the Jets and Bills. But Archer's NFL career was over in 2016. He now runs speed and agility classes as well as football camps back in his home of Venice, Florida. But some players are unique by having both speed and size, like Tariq Woolen, who is a 6'4" beast. From 2017 to 2021, he played at the University of Texas at San Antonio, starting his career as a receiver but transitioning to cornerback following his redshirt freshman year, which proved to be a great move to get to the NFL. During the 2022 Combine, he put up a ridiculous 40 time of 4.26, the fastest by any player ever over 6 foot. So Seattle took Reek with the 153rd pick in the 5th round.
Oh, your name is being called right here, brother. We can't wait to get you up here, okay? Congratulations, man.
And he swiftly picked up his first NFL interception in Week 3 against Atlanta. He was so good his rookie year, he tied the NFL league lead for picks with 6, earning him 2022 Pro Bowl honors. Then in 2023, Reek had 53 total tackles, and going into 2024, he was listed as the 91st ranked player on the top 100 players in the league. Woolen is off to a great start and has a bright future ahead. And just like Woolen, DJ Turner is another 2020s pick who lit up the Combine. From 2019 to 2022, Turner played corner in Michigan, and during the 23 NFL Combine, he put up a 40 time of 4.26, convincing the Bengals to take him in the 2nd round with the 60th pick.
You want to come join us and be a Bengal?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man.
Turner had a solid rookie year, putting up 50 tackles, a sack, and a fumble recovery. And despite regaining his starting position in 2024, he broke his clavicle in Week 11 of 2024. But the fastest players in history don't have to come from Power 5 college programs. We now enter the top 5 with Rondell Menendez. Menendez played 4 seasons at Eastern Kentucky, bagging nearly 3,000 receiving yards and over 1,000 yards in each of his last 2 seasons. He outran Champ Bailey during the 1999 Combine with a 40 time of 4.24, and Atlanta snagged him in the 7th round with pick 247, but it didn't last long. After getting released that same year, he went to the Dolphins, Colts, Washington, and the Eagles. After joining Philly, he temporarily retired to help his mother following a stroke and went back to the Eagles only to be assigned to NFL Europe. So he officially retired following that. And though a lot of these speedsters didn't work out in the NFL, that can't be said about Chris Johnson, who had a legendary career. A track star, of course, while in high school in Florida, Johnson then attended Eastern Carolina University. And out of his 4 seasons at ECU, his final year was the most impressive, putting up 1,423 rushing yards and 17 rushing TDs. But that wasn't enough to impress NFL scouts, because going into the 2008 NFL Draft, Johnson was considered a 2nd or 3rd round pick. However, after the Combine, that all changed, because he ran a 40 time that tied the then record held by Menendez, 4.24. This launched Johnson to the 1st round as the Titans took CJ with the 24th overall pick.
Tennessee Titans select Chris Johnson, running back, East Carolina.
And he showed his worth. In 6 seasons in Tennessee, his 2nd season was his best, earning the name CJ2K after running for 2,006 yards, 14 touchdowns, and winning the 2009 Offensive Player of the Year. But after his time with the Titans and 6 straight seasons of rushing for over 1,000 yards, it was a slow decline. He was released in 2014, and Johnson played 4 more seasons with the Jets and Cardinals. After 10 years in the league, Johnson announced his retirement in 2018, officially retiring with Tennessee in 2019. However, he has been busy since his retirement. Johnson has dabbled in coaching, media work, restaurants, and vacation rentals. But on the track, even CJ2K can't compete with Boogie, better known as Kalen Barnes. Barnes won the 100 and 200 meters leader in back-to-back UIL high school track and field championships, but in college it took time to find his role. After Barnes' freshman year at Baylor as a wide receiver, he switched to cornerback. And this helped his NFL future, because when he went to the 2022 NFL Draft Combine, he put up the third fastest time of all time, and the fastest 40 time by a defensive player ever at 4.23. So, in the 2022 draft, the Panthers took him in the 7th round with the 242nd pick. But it has not been easy. After getting waived by the Panthers, he's been a practice squad player on many teams, and is still trying to find his footing in the NFL. And speaking of finding their footing, our next player ran the 40 so fast, he injured himself. John Ross was a product of the Snoop Dogg Youth All-Star League and a track star. He played 3 seasons at the University of Washington, swapping time between receiver and cornerback. After a 2016 season of 1,150 receiving yards and 17 touchdowns, Ross entered the 2017 NFL Draft and rocked the world with his 40-yard dash time of 4.22, a then record. And despite nagging injuries to his calves and labrum, he was still taken in the first round by the Bengals with pick 9.
The Cincinnati Bengals select John Ross.
Unfortunately, consistent health issues severely hindered his NFL career. He played with the Bengals, Giants, and Chiefs before announcing his retirement in 2023. However, he made a comeback, signing with the Eagles in 2024, hoping to continue his NFL comeback. But 7 years after John Ross's all-time run, one player broke that record. Meet Xavier Worthy. The Texas product had one of the best freshman years in Longhorn history, 981 yards and 12 TDs, which were both freshman records. And after 3 years with the Longhorns, Worthy showed up at the 2024 Draft Combine and did something we've never seen before. He ran a 40 time of 4.21, the fastest ever. So, in the draft, the Chiefs took him in the first round with the 28th pick.
Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs select Xavier Worthy!
There it is. And it's only fitting.
Worthy has had a solid start to his rookie season, and we can only expect more big plays from him in the future as his connection with Patrick Mahomes grows. If you enjoyed this video, stick with Blitz, subscribe, and check out some of our other content right here.